I'm sort of back at it, in that my hand isn't completely and utterly sorted. Well, it's healing, but it's still a bit sore to grab hold of things. But nevertheless, I couldn't resist any longer coming down and fitting the timing belt, so I've done that. I've torqued these things up. It's 25 newton meters for that one, and I forget it was something similar for that one anyway, but nevertheless not hugely tight, but it's on there. Timing belt looks good, it all seems to be sat quite nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and put the lower cover back on, put the crank pulley back on, and then just turn it over a couple of times just to make sure it's correct and that everything still lines up. Right, this is it, first time live. I've not cranked it over yet. I've got my little ratchet on the crank pulley bolt, so here goes. Will it turn? Oh, I can hear something. We're going. So that's one, we're upside down. Slipped off the bolt a bit there. Everything's moving. Going through the compression cycle. I reckon that's about spot on. So if I put in the pin, you'll excuse the mess. Locking pin. I reckon we're about to hit that. So here we go. Donk. There we are, so that's on. And then this bar, I would say, would be about perfect. Yep, and there we are. Just ever so slightly off on here, but I'm going to check that again and make sure we're all happy. I think it's just caught on the edge, but we'll have a look and see. Okay, so just checked again, and yeah, managed to slide the thing in there. It was literally just ever so slightly off the stop down here, so it just sort of hit. I think it must have bounced back ever so slightly, but yeah, we're in. It seems to be fitted quite nicely. Turns over, nothing hits, which is good. Bit more tinkering done to the engine. I'm basically trying to get everything that's in boxes, all just littered around the garage. You can see things like the wiring loom there behind me, fitted to the engine, so that it's as complete as I can get it before the baby arrives. Kind of on borrowed time. Mrs. is getting on for 39 weeks pregnant, so as you can probably imagine, there's not going to be a lot of time to do bits coming up soon. I have, well, what have I done? I'll show you. I have mostly been doing bits down this end of the engine. Now, timing belt's done, tension is all done, and you can see pulleys etc. back on. I still need to tension up this pulley down here. This plate here is the one that my dad made for me, which covers over where the engine mount would normally go on a Z-Tech. There's like a little rib that comes out here on a black top. And what people do is they machine this section back. I'm sure I probably showed you earlier on in the diary, and it leaves sort of like a webbing bit that's open. This is known as a lightweight cover, but obviously allows bits to get in. So what Dad did was he machined it back for me by hand, and then made this by hand to go over it. Did a cracking job of it. I'm quite happy with that indeed. There is a new tensioner here. This is a really quality bit of kit, to be honest. Mounts to the water pump, and you can see the engine mount as well here. I seem to remember there needing to be more space here, so I wonder whether I've done something wrong, but not sure. Seems to be okay. Mounted up, and that's largely what I've been doing today. You may notice that the cam cover for the bolts are a tad long. I've no idea what I've done with the other ones. No idea at all, so I'll try and find them. I've cleaned up the dipstick, just popped that in there. Popped on the exhaust gasket just to try and get it out of the way. And the core pack bracket, which is here, I have cleaned up. Whilst I've been looking at everything, I've made a bit of a discovery, and that is that the coil pack is, well, bust. Anyway, one more thing to do, I suppose. Now, I've realised all the things that I can do now my hand is largely fixed. I can use tools again to an extent. Grip's not so great, but it's not so bad. I can sort of screw things in, which I couldn't do before. That twisting motion didn't work. However, can't operate spray can, so spray left-handed. Other than that, all good, I think. So there we are. What's next? Manifold. Now, I've been speaking to Michael Clark at Ignition Advantages about the inlet manifold. He said that the ECU I want to use won't run the inlet manifold runner control system, which means that it's effectively pointless, and he says that he's not really too keen on the inlet anyway, reckons it's not much good. So I'm going to probably fit the black top focus inlet that I've got, which sort of loops down here and is a bit shorter than a the Mondeo one, and I'll fit that and send that with the engine. That's something else that's been under my desk at work for some time. And beyond that, I need to get the alternator bracket off of the Onion, or I might go for another. I think it's DA Performance, these bits. Another bracket with a tensioner from them, just so it all looks nice and tidy and matches. And apart from that, I think then it's time to start doing things like this seal down here, which obviously I can't do whilst it's on the stand. Flywheel, which is inside the gearbox in the Onion, and a clutch and everything else, which I need to buy and then fit up. I'll just double check the size. I seem to remember it's a CVH 1.6 clutch, maybe a 180, 200. Not sure. Anyway, I'm sure I've got it written down somewhere. So I'll get one of those on order. Need a new coil pack now, obviously. I guess that's probably it for now. Cam cover's obviously just sitting on there. That's probably going to be the next big project. As I say, there's a lot of rubbing down to do, and then some painting. Thinking about going for a crackle black for this rather than going silver. Let me know what you think. And this badge up here, I found someone that will make up custom ones of these gel badges. I'm kind of tempted to change that so it just says Ford, or something similar, so it doesn't have the Duratec ST bit on it. But again, let me know your thoughts. Beyond that, I guess it'll be soon time to start ripping the engine out. Thankfully, I have some friends that'll help. And I'm gonna, well, take this, pop it on the deck. I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that, because I don't really want it on this engine stand, it's too big. And I need to be able to get to this side. I'm sort of thinking that I might buy the bars that you can get to support this, that sit on the floor, but they are 60 odd quid, which seems like a lot. You can buy the brackets, the plates, sorry, should I say, that you can bolt to the side, and you can make them yourself if you're capable of welding. And they're the plates are about a tenner. I'm kind of wondering whether maybe I could ask one of the guys at work just to get some box section and weld something up. I can imagine it's going to be a bit cheaper to do that. Although by the time I've paid him and bought the bits, who knows? Who knows? Right, last few bits, I think, before the baby arrives. So, inlet is bolted up with new seals fitted, new coil pack. I've got new bolts on order. And I think that's probably going to be it for now. I found out that the engine mount on the back, yeah, that does require modification of the cover that's on the end, which is, well, irritating. But there you go. It needs to be adjusted in order to fit. Bolts coming for this, obviously. Just down the back here, just like kick the can. It looks like this part of the cover is going to need to be cut out, or rather just here, to allow for a bolt there, which is annoying because it means that this has to all come off again. But hey, the cam cover, I haven't been putting this off exactly, but it's a task. I tried just to sand down around the edge of this to make this look a bit smarter, and then sand off the letters on the ST, because I thought that'd be a bit nicer if I cleaned those up. But as you can see, I've gone a bit too hard. I need to clean this out in here. I'm hoping that something like Red 7, if I leave it to soak, we'll get that out, but not sure. Anyway, that's the plan for now. So until then, do join us on the socials. We are at UK Motor Talk everywhere, and of course like and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more.